Well, I personally think it's the work that it's done on climate change. It's done many other things, but climate change is the one which I think is the really major issue, and where Civic Exchange has consistently been thinking about how can, firstly, we reduce the climate change by reducing our emissions, and secondly, how can we adapt to climate change. And as part of that, I'm one of the people who's been to a number of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, COPs, Conference of the Parties, where annually they discuss what is happening and what should be done. And in fact, I've been to 11 of the last 17, including starting with the one that was in Copenhagen. And after each one, I and other people from Civic Exchange who were there get together with the Business Environment Council and the University of Science and Technology, and we run some briefings for people in Hong Kong to get more of the message out, so more business people, more members of civil society, some members of government can think more about what needs to be done. Okay, well, before I worked for Civic Exchange, I'd had 30 years working in Hong Kong for the Swire Group and was connected with many businesses. And I'm an accountant, and the question is, how can we reduce our carbon emissions while still making money for a business? And so looking at that through an accountant's eyes and proposing solutions where companies can do the right thing for the climate whilst still remaining profitable is the focus that I've had. How to get selfish, perhaps profit maximizing business people to do the right thing on climate change. Well, the government has its Climate Action Plan 2050, and included in that is a target for reducing energy consumption in buildings between 2015 and 2025. For commercial buildings, they've set a target of between 15 and 20%. Yet emissions or carbon emissions from buildings, commercial buildings, have not gone down at all. They've gone up in the 10 years. So we're halfway towards the target, and we're going the wrong direction. So continuing to lobby the government on actions that can be taken that would move the needle. I don't think they'll meet their target, but they can certainly go closer than the current trajectory. Well, what other think tanks are there in Hong Kong? I mean, one of the things about Civic Exchange is because there are not very many think tanks in Hong Kong, it has a significant role to play. And it's to me, it focuses primarily on the environment, but there are some civil society issues. And the other thing about Civic Exchange is that very happy to work with anybody who shares our objectives. So for instance, China Light and Power, which is a big polluter, we're happy to work with them because they've got a strategy for reducing their carbon emissions over time, and we're keen to help them with getting that strategy implemented. Net zero carbon emissions and sufficiently protected that we are not going to suffer severely from the effects of climate change. And achieving that, though, is going to be incredibly difficult. It's going to require a great deal of expenditure. And at the moment, Hong Kong is not doing nearly enough to meet that objective. So there is lots of work to do.